Give it up, Dave Kaz. Oh my goodness. I want him to be an incredible person. I want certain musicians and artists of all kinds to be wonderful people. Here we go. This man loves to play. Like, he loves playing as much as I love doing Planet J Wow. Oh, I love that man so much. Okay, some doctor person at some point tell me whether or not banging on my chest helps my heart be healthier, because it sure feels like it does. You know, when I am the drum. I think what I'm going to do, y'all let me know what you think about this. I think what I want to do is I got these things called Bliss Choices, right? And what they are is they're these sayings that, like, they're ways I calibrate myself. And I was thinking, well, I'm sharing everything else with you guys. I'm sharing the stuff that I come up with for myself, because I've got two different sets of people who are possible multiples who are splitting, who I don't know, that people I didn't know well, someone I haven't talked to in years was like, hey, it's me, and there's a being or set of them, and you do that great. And wouldn't it be neat if they could start out like the great that you've got now, if there's any way for you to like talk with them? And I'm like, this is my bliss. I mean, no offense to parts work and family work, you know, and there's some of us who are doing parts work and family work with different parts of us. Do the math. Okay. It's like, okay, there's like, I'm getting to get, I think this is what Spirit's doing. Okay, so here's how I'm playing the game with you. Oh, that's what I get. Okay, all right. If you go back to my first videos with like what, 2-3 weeks ago, right? When I first got on this roll, and I said, I'm going to do it every night or almost every night for at least the next year. If not, like, that's the way things are going to be. I've been trying to figure out what's the game that I get to play in public, because I've put the plan in Planet. I've put the net in Planet. I'm all good with having a planet that can catch all of y'all. No offense, 8 billion. I got you. If you like, or rather, let me put it this way. There's a whole bunch of you 8 billion, way more than any governments want to know about, who are actually evolutionaries who think I make sense. Because I've got a plan for like most of us to be okay. And even the ones who aren't okay, to like have the tools at least available with them to be okay. Like I'm figuring out how to build bridges and open doors, and I just want to invite anybody who wants to build better bridges or open more doors to come play with me, because I'm great at it, and I'm not going to stand here and pretend that I'm not. Like, all this thing about I'm going to be so self-effacing and humble about like having spent 70 years, you know, becoming the best thing in the world, and no, really, don't compliment me. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Look, I'm 62 years old, and I've been on call for the entire planet for 51 years. I get lots of credit for that. That's not a damn it. That's like, I get lots of credit for that. That's badass as fuck. That's bath. Okay, it's totally bath. I'm like, and I know that bath is the golden retriever's word for bath, that beautiful golden retriever, what's his name, Floof or something like that. And, you know, how to bath. Well, I'm going to add to the bath lexicon, and it's going to be badass as fuck. So you go back to those early videos, and I don't know what I'm trying to figure out. Read from The Legend of Biel by Mary Staton. From The Legend of Biel by Mary Staton, Staton. And hi, Linda, I saw your thing. Hello. I love your bear. I think it's time to put up a bear URL for you so people can check out your wonderful bears. I'm getting to enjoy having taken my lumps the size of meteors and taken my lumps. I literally, folks, I had a tumor the size of a basketball that I missed because I was so disconnected from my body. And people were like, you're always speaking in terms of hyperbole and you talk about this stuff. And I'm like, dude, the hyperbole is the scaled down version of what I actually lived. So I had it the size of a basketball in the only place in my body where you can grow a tumor the size of a basketball and have any possibility of missing it. If it had been started growing a centimeter over, a couple of centimeters over, it would have hurt. I like the hyperbolic things with the happy endings. I love hyperbole with happy endings. So I just figured I'd live it as pretty neat. And I get to have people see me smiling and eccentric, functional, knowing that they're not as crazy as me. So if my crazy ass can be happy and doing well, there's a good shot that there's some way for them to be happy. I love being that for people. I eat it up. I eat it up when people say, you gave me permission to, and then they tell me something that they've ached to do, and they just did because, like, JWoww would just do that shit. She'd just do that shit. I have one major regret in my whole life. Some minor ones. One major one. I had the opportunity to jump out a third floor window with the violin playing son of my favorite violinist of all time, my freshman year at Harvard, because of the blizzard of 78, and I didn't do it. And I know that my life would be different if I could say that I did that to myself. Like, people talk about, what is that pivotal thing that you know that isn't true, that you've lived with as a truth so deeply and so long and so rootedly that it is real to you, and it completely changed your life for the better? Told the Thomas Edison story, what was that, last night or the night before? So I know that there are places where I do that to myself. The difference is I know what actually happened at the same time because I'm a multiple. And so it's like I get to hold the truth that is shareable with other and perceivable by other, while also holding the truths, hold the facts that are perceivable by others, shareable with others and perceivable by others, and hold the truths that are the distilled lessons born out of some set of configurations of those facts, some constellations of facts that I have negotiated with spirit to have be it doesn't exist, y'all. 9-star Michelin chef, 5-star, they don't even list it in Zagat's, 15-course meals that are pure fuel and no unneeded calories and adapts to every person who eats it, meals, at every milestone of my journey for all of y'all who are following me. I'm the Ritz Carlton version of being on the roughing it journey of growing to be something more than, something evolving out of humanity and into something that is in an active dance with our multividinous selves, in a way where we're getting information from multiple vectors of time and living into what we get. Like, don't pay attention to the movies, folks, about what happens when you know about things ahead of time, because it doesn't quite work the way that they say. I mean, some of it does, because they're, preceding for how more, Pero Blanco. Oh, and Renee Gordon. Oh my goodness. Hi, folks. Linda, we got guests. Linda is like totally my shoulder to shoulder. It doesn't matter what time it is, buddy. For these, it's an honor. Hi, folks. Good to see you. You and Facebook just disappeared. Nice tech, right? I can tell you some wild shit about me and tech. I think I'm going to have one of these where I'm like, hi, folks, if you wanted to ask me questions or wanted me to go back and retell a particular story, come to this one. I'll be on for 2 hours and just come ask me stuff. Right? I'm getting to really be with you guys. I'm actually building a tribe, and I'm documenting what I'm building. Unlike, these religious leaders who have needed to hide things that then come bite them in the ass. Y'all are seeing what's happening. You will see the fancier thing. I got my green screens. And I got the flexible stuff that's going to let me be like totally enfolded by green screen and on the floor. So I'll be able to like drum in galaxies and stuff like that. Now I just need to find out why my desktop won't let me do green screen. I don't think it's that old. And I think somebody can put something in that will let it do it or fix it. If somebody out there is a computer whiz, and I mean like a whiz, because I am complicated already. So let's just find the system that works with me. If you know someone, if you are someone who can help me organize all this stuff, because I asked for a planet and then I got one. Now I've got lots of people. Well, it's lots to me. It's like I've got 5 people who brought their entire lives. Like they brought their lives, their families, their businesses, which then became business, all onto Planet JWoww. They brought like literally their entire lives onto Planet JWoww. And I'm like, oh, wow. I started this saying that I'm not going to lead, except I'm leading, except I'm not leading the way that they say I'm going to lead. These are all people who've taken care of me. And I mean, like, held my head, throwing up, help me take care of all my intimate shit. All right. People who are on this planet, there's no shaming here. I have a planet where there's no shaming. There's a place that we're loving. This is what I mean by the plan net part. I got the plan back in plan. I planned on a planet-sized net that people could come into and test out. What does it feel like to be deeply empowered and self-fueled? What does it feel like to love more and more and more, being accountable not only for your reality, being accountable for the power to shape almost every facet of your reality? I started out weeks ago knowing and saying that I'm in a game, growth, agentiality, magic, and empowerment. I'm in a game. It's a code game. It's a word game. Everywhere I speak, every time I speak, no matter how short or how long, whatever it is I write, there's always some code there. There'll come a time, I hold this vision, it's not a dream, I hold this vision that there'll be a time, or maybe there is a time and I don't know it yet, where folks are doing the decoding and their lives are changing, and they're coming soon, because they're accelerating beyond what most people can do, because they're getting the 9-star Michelin chef 5-star meals instead of breadcrumbs. So they're getting accelerated nourishment, and it accelerates their journey. And part of their journey is coming to let me know something about how I'm in their roots, so that I can know which seeds landed where. And they may be removed out from me 7 times. I won't know any of the people that they tell me. They say we're connected by 6. Maybe. Really connected? I mean, know of. Really connected? Not necessarily. And it's not a bad thing that it's not 6. I know people want to feel close because they've been programmed into wanting to belong. Wanting to belong is a perfect way to have people always feel like they're missing out, which keeps letting you know that you are less than. It's a wonderful way to have us let ourselves know that we're less than, instead of what we do on Planet JWoww, what we do more and more, thank you, Ronnie Jean Andrews Neal, is we're be with it. I want to be with this group of people. These are my be with kin. I don't belong anywhere. I'm not going to be in a state of always aching for a thing that I know that I'm never going to get. That's what the longing is. Kiss my ass on that programming. I have choice. And y'all, if I have a choice, y'all have choice. That gets to be true. I get to be a whole bunch of things that are the notness of what folks say will succeed. And I get to have that matter by me saying the future is now. The future where someone like me is called vanilla. I swear to God. I have beloveds who think I'm just like the most vanilla thing on the planet, because you know what? I am to them. Do you know how comforting that is? It is not an insult. It's comforting. My arm hurts. Oh, there we go. Do you guys know about bongers? Oh my goodness. These things were invented in like 1942 or something, and they haven't changed like either what they're made of or how they're made or what have you. There's been like no improvement because they're just wonderful exactly where they are. Well, I do know that there's something different because I have several versions of it, like several colors. They've added colors. Okay, but I have one with me. If you see me, I have one with me. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good. I also get to figure out what part of my back is screwing up my hand. Somebody out there wants to trade. Here's what I want to do. I want to have sessions with people, individual sessions, where you pay me to do your thing with me. Because when you do it with me, there's a pool of beings who are going to give you feedback, and they're going to give you shamanic feedback, as in two-footing, as in somewhere in your world that we can feel while we're still anchored in our world. And let's face it, all of that comes together with a Harvard degree and 2 international awards for being the best. That's a the. Beat out 257,000 applicants the first time and 325,000 applicants the second time to be the best technical writer in the world. So that comes together with all the shamanic thing. So ask me stuff. Pay me to bring all of this wonder and magic and bridging skill to whatever it is that you're trying to do to get out into the world with your soul intact or grown and or healed. You do not have to sell your soul to the devil to succeed in the mainstream. I don't believe that. I refuse to believe that. Not only do I refuse to believe that as an outward facing, I'm a know-all. I know for a fact with an inward facing inclusion of what it is that I see in front of me, that there are opportunities to build bridges inside a global community that is ever expanding as we reach out to each other and hold hands. It's that simple. Do not let the governments or anybody tell you that it's more complicated than that. We're figuring out how to hold hands. We're figuring out what trust means at a global level. This pain we feel about the death of privacy. What happens when privacy becomes an honored choice? Something that's given on a global scale. What if it doesn't matter about privacy because we're all learning and willing and cross-referencing each other so that we're sharing in ways where we're all growing? What if that gets to be true? And the things that don't align are the things that are not with us. What if that? Okay. I'm cool with the Westboro Church, just not around me. Simply not around me. Little things like that, okay? Just has an apology and a shaming in it when it's used in that way, when it's used something outside of something being just, as in justice. Simply is what's meant. However, we're taught to use our languaging to flay ourselves smaller, a little bit at a time. Not really enough to notice, unless you're hypersensitive. The fire that you don't know is going on, that a third-degree burn victim can feel on their burn across a canyon, okay? That's real. I want to share the lessons of that horrifying isness in my history, my I story. I want to share the lessons from that because the lessons from that are really super cool. Okay. I don't want you to do the thing. I don't want you to do if you want to hear the story in depth, that's going to cost you extra. That's going to be like, I trust you enough to tell the story for real. And you are plying me with very expensive scotch and Guinness from Ireland. Okay. Like, you got to earn that from here on out. I've been giving that away my whole life. What I've been doing is seeding into the future that I have now, because so many of the people who are lifting me up are people that I have talked with over the course of 40 years. Some people I haven't talked with in 30 years who are coming back. I have been seeding love and a willingness to support other people in their greatness into the collective consciousness of the entire planet since 1971. Every day. Every day. No one left behind, no one left in the cold, no one left in the dark. Not on our watch. It's been months since I've said that. I said that every single day of my life for over 50 years. None of my life, every single day since 1971. My life before 1971 was just, yeah. Life began to look up. I got to have meaning for nobody called it autism. It was autism. When we got diagnosed later, it was not a surprise. Let's put it that way. And so we get to be a gift. We simply wanted to be a gift. I think most people want to be a gift. Do you guys think that? Let me know. Is that the product name? Bongers, I swear to God. And what's so funny, because almost all of my friends use cannabis, mostly for medicine and lots of recreation. And so I say, yeah, I'm going to get my bonger. And then I reach in my bag and they get this shocked look on their face and they're like, I thought you said you were going to pull a bong out of your bag. And then I said, if anyone's going to pull a bong out of their little bitty bag, it would be J-Wow. And I consistently get that and laugh my ass off. And there, okay? Bonger. Yeah, it's called a bonger. And I think it's bongers.com. So it's pretty straightforward. And you're going to see several pages of this. It's the only thing that they make. The only thing that they make. I am so grateful. When my legs used to seize up, I'd be driving, right? I'd pull over right before they'd seize up, and I'd do this, for 10 minutes on my legs because, back then. And so now I don't need that. Well, first of all, I'm not driving or anything like that. Okay, I'm all over the place because I get to be all over the place here. I am absolutely treating myself to getting to be all over the place here. I get to do this. It's free. Anybody who is hardcore serious, I mean, like, you're one of those people who is showing up, watching this whenever you want it, whenever you're able to, taking the notes, doing the thing. I'm letting you know how to love on me well so that I can keep doing this. That's what I'm doing here, because in the process of letting you know how to love on me well, since so many of you, and I mean thousands upon thousands of you, have said to me, I'm being modest. Let me not do that. I don't do modest very well, and I suck at it. And I'm getting it out of my system early. So tens of thousands of you, by your own reckoning, I've given permission to live a fuller, more robust, more rad, which is different from radical life, where you get to grow into being an evolutionary. I am one. I love being it. I catalyze people's lives. I have worked with one domestic abuser. One. You do that shit, I find out about it, you're not fixing it, your ass belongs to me in some place where there's no video camera. This is not a joke. I worked with one man. He was super clear. He needed someone to kick his ass and get him to fix this shit. The man wound up going to jail voluntarily rather than go back to hitting his spouse by the time he and I finished. If you want, like, people are like, do you get results? And can you send me like a bunch of testimonials from, I'm like, no. I mean, yes. I mean, I know I'm supposed to do that. Who are you? And you don't have to identify yourself. And thank you. And whoever this is, the Facebook user. Yes, I thank you very much. That's my point. It's like, what do you, when people are like, wait a minute, let me get this straight. There are people who pay you to work on your shit and watch you. I'm like, yep. I don't get it. I'm like, you're asking them the wrong question. Ask them if they accelerate. Ask them if they got what they needed. Not what they said they wanted. Did they get what they wanted? Maybe not. Did they get what they needed? Absolutely. Is it still in their lives? I have come to understand that people I affected for 10 minutes on a street. I had a guy I talked to for 10 minutes in California on the street in a cafe. He was introduced to me by a friend. I told him about Fans with Cans. Fans with Cans is an international grassroots organization dedicated to ensuring that food pantries and shelters have food 365 days a year. That's our nonprofit. I would love for somebody to come help me run that. We did a great job. We fed 170,000 families. 170, 170,000 families in 4 states before we became a nonprofit, because the only perpetual motion machine on the planet is between my nose and my chin, and I will talk your ass into doing the right thing. And y'all can tell I've never said that before, any of that. See, a lot of the stories that I tell slow because I want to savor them with you, I can tell in any state, stoned and exhausted. I mean, exhausted like I haven't slept for 6 days. No caffeine, all the things, and I can tell the whole story and do I have fun because I want to be really great at conveying the lessons through really fun stories about triumph over massive crap. I want to make living crap something that is so the notness of pleasure that people are like, I just like it. I'm excellent because I like excellence. Like I would rather be in my bliss place being excellent and getting paid for that than being miserable and making the lots of money that doesn't fix the miserable. And I won't know that until I fix the part that's punishing me by having me enjoy the miserable, except I don't enjoy it. Okay, that's not going to make sense to a whole bunch of people. It makes perfect sense to me, sweetheart. If you want to work on that, I'm here for that. I'm just going to keep saying I'm here for that. And that can be a thing. I'm here for that. You know, that like Staples. Yeah, we got that. We're here for that. We're here for that. I will not co-create your crap. However, if you are working on the stuff, we're here for that. If you're really working on it, you're going to have to pay me to not. Oh, by the way, here's what everyone who pays me is paying me for. Because I told you I'm going to stop like pretending that I'm apologizing or I don't know what I'm doing, because I want to introduce it to people slowly, because like, and do all the things that they say. If I were to live in the standard mainstream marketing box, I'm so done. I want the accelerators. I want the evolutionaries. I want the ones who are paying attention. I want the ones who are taking notes. I want the ones who are standing up right where they are and affecting worlds far beyond the reach that most people can even dream of having. I want to play with those folks. I want to play with shaping the entire world into something where there's room for everyone. I want to play. Oh, wait. Oh, my goodness. I am playing with evolutionaries. I have evolutionaries on my planet with me. I'm not a lone nut. Thank you, Derek Sievers, I believe his name is. May I meet you one day, sir. You have blessed my life. There are thousands of people who have seen your video specifically because of me. Oh my goodness. If you don't know that one, you guys, Derek Sievers, S-E-V-E-R-S, I believe. There may not be an S, it may be Derek Siever. And it's D-E-R-E-K, I think. So I may have all the spelling wrong, but if you put in leadership lessons from the dancing guy, you'll get the right guy. Okay, it's just brilliant. Everyone who wants to be something a little different, a little better, a little gooder, a little kinder, a little bigger, a little more wonderful, a little bit more magical, a little bit more exquisite in the eyes of our own souls across time. Anybody who wants that, please see that video. It's 5 minutes of your life that'll change the rest of it. The sooner you see it, the better. Make sure if you have kids that they see it, that it's just a fun video that they watch with mommy and daddy. Okay, or if you're pregnant, play it in the background. It's just straight up true. Yeah, there you go. Right. You shared some of your excellence today. Okay. Facebook user, will you tell me who you are so that I've got context? And I'm going to take back the, you don't have to say that you're here. If you're here with me, please know, folks, if you're talking with me, at some point, I may not share your name. If there's a lesson that I learn out of what we have, I'm going to share that. I will recontextualize things so that people can't find you. And you'll know. There'll be a one piece. There'll be a one code. Will you be like, oh, that one's for me. Cool. And then you get to see me guard you. You get to see me make it so that folks won't find out that it's you. All they'll hear is the lesson, and you'll get to see you becoming mojusin through the lenses and filters of me, just as I have the pleasure and privilege of becoming mojusins in your world, your worlds, through you. I started complimenting folks mostly on Planet. And I say, it is such an honor to be anywhere in the roots of your isness. Everyone who's on planet, at some point, I've looked at them just in such awe that I'm just sobbing. I mean, just such reverence. It's excellence as a beauty. Stunning. Whoever you are, thank you. Helped you find your voice by watching us use ours. Yay. And congratulations on the excellence on Facebook. It's good this is a good place. I know everybody's, like disparaging, he's the devil, and I got it. Okay. That's going to get sorted. Right now, it's the third largest country in the world, and it has the largest communication network. I'm going to work with that. Now, thank you to all the people who won't work with that, who figured out other things, who have a different set of ethics. Our goals are different. Yay, you for you getting to your goals. Just like, vegans and vegetarians, go you. Don't make me wrong for my half a pound of bacon. I won't make you wrong for your, lettuce wrap, which I happen to like. Shh, don't tell anybody. Right? Oh, yay. Hi, Jerry. I was hoping it was you, but I didn't want to I guess the other night it wasn't you. And so I said, I need to not do that. And it's somebody whose speaking cadence reminded me of you. So speaking, see, to me, this is speaking. The reading is speaking. So folks, that's that's how I work. I'm cross sense. I've been blind. Like when people say, God, this is boring, is watching paint dry. And I'm like, to those who have lost and then regained their sight, watching paint dry is gasmic. When I got my sight back after being blind, I went and got a little thing of paint and I just painted on my wall and I watched it dry in the light outside the window. I just watched it dry. It was so beautiful. It's this living thing that was reskinning itself moment by moment by moment at this molecular level that it loved sharing with the world so much that it ossifies to create a permanence in the beauty that it was created and born to share with us. That was watching paint dry for us. And I know for a fact that most people wish they had anything in their lives that touched their soul anywhere near as deeply as that. And then there are a whole bunch of other people. Where are you, little bit? You're not in my pocket. Oh, you're all the way over there. Beep is loud. And then there are others who are like, I live that. I resonate with that. I'm like, great. The ones who ache for that and are willing to shift and calibrate to get to that, I want to play with y'all. Those who were like, oh, total kin resonance. I'm like, and you're coming to learn because I want to learn from the ones who want to learn. I want to see how you learn to see how I get to learn from you. I'm not going to people's places. They're bringing me to their places or they're coming to me. That's where I am. And that's where I need to be. And this whole notion that I can't be a global shaman where the global tribe takes care of me, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. All evidence to the contrary. I need money. I want money. I want money. I need access to financial stability. There we go. I want access to financial stability, and I would like support from the global tribe. I have things to bring in our reciproconomic interchange. I bring wisdoms that work for building globality. I bring badassery as an art and a science. I bring love as an elemental foundational force of goodness and greatness that shapes and fuels that goodness and greatness into the growth that we need into our what's next. That's for starters. If you're not my folks, please help. Like the ones where you're like, oh, I got somebody that needs to meet her. Okay, please. I'm ready. I have stuff. I know that I'm not quite ready, or that y'all would be here. I mean, you'd be here with hearing the things and figuring out. There's a lot of, we don't know what you do. We don't know what you want. And that's true. And yet, I now realize that there are 5 very sane and successful beings on planet to whom I make sense, which means that I've been saying I'm here for the whole world. I'm changing that. No, I'm not. There's a really, really, really tiny group of you to whom I make sense. Many of you will already be hyper successful at what you do. Bring your wallet. I want to teach the world about a valuation that does a lovely job of equating lifestyle and delight with interchange. It doesn't have to be this begrudging thing. It can be fun. It doesn't have to be money. If there are, I don't know, several hundred of you who are like, we would love for you and Penny, we'll pay for you to get here first class or on a bus. We'll buy you a fucking bus with a driver, and you can just take a year-long tour across the country with the two of you speaking at our arenas. You let us take care of letting all of the beloveds in our towns know that you're coming, and we'll arrange for people to be able to come and see you live, you and Penny and whoever else you bring and whoever you bring on stage. And it'll be this wonderful traveling show that puts the circle back in us and takes it out of being shortened to simply a circ us. It's not a side show. It's a life show. It's an evolutionary event. I get to be that. And I believe that as a modern urban shaman, as the urban bliss shaman, I'm going to say, that's what I would like to have happen. I know that it can happen because I know that if I saw a me and I wasn't me, and I was somebody who knew how to put things like that together, who loved putting things like that together, or knew people who loved putting things like that together, and I love those people and I want to lift their lives, I want to lift their lives up. So I'm going to introduce them to me and say, hey, let's do this. She's bringing everybody. Let's do this. I want to be the example of it working in public so that those who can't yet afford financially to learn the kind of lessons that I'm getting to learn. This is what I'm doing with my privilege. Yeah, thank you. Oh, baby, you don't need to describe it. Speed, Linda. Oh, no, it's you. Oh, see, you guys. With flute trees. Ooh. I hope that's part of what you shared and what that means. And if you didn't share it, make a video out of it so that you can share it at some point, even if you share it in pieces. Your experience. Our experiences matter, beloveds. There are a lot of folks who are like, they're claiming that their life experience matters. And then they wonder why no one comes. Everybody's a life coach, because everybody's a life coach. Not said with disdain. Everybody is a life coach. We haven't yet figured out the global database that will connect us with the folks who will benefit from us at our, whatever our best is. That connects fundamentally and is rooted in alignment for me, us, with inclusion, welcome, and empowerment. I'm looking for a dispersed and diverse global tribe of empowering, nourishing influencers who understand that power is defined as the ability to influence that which is not our isness. And so they use that well. They wield and yield that well. That's my folks. Right there. That's my folks. Some people do the magnificent listening. Some people do the magnificent talking. Some people do the magnificent talking as long as I'm not talking. If I am quiet, it makes them nervous. They literally say, while you're on the planet, I'm not going to miss having you have the opportunity to talk. I can listen. I can talk later. Right now, I'm here to listen. I want to be clear. I've had beloveds say that to me. Do you know how amazing that has me feel? Now, I'm actually learning to listen more. It's allowing me to work more closely with other beings. I'm learning how to ask questions about what they think and how they're doing, and then be quiet, even though I see things. I don't have to share all of them. I don't have to. I literally don't have to. I get to sometimes. We all get to sometimes. And what's beautiful, the sometimes up until technology now has meant out of our shared linear time, there will be some synchronous interaction, engagement. Now, sometime means that with a plan, it is arranged. Our technology arranges for us to be able to have full experiences on our own terms, in our own time, as long as what we're sharing, because it's rooted in trust in each other, is transparent and truthful. That includes what's called illusionary magic. You're being transparent and truthful about the wonder that you're setting out to elicit. And there's things you share and things you don't. Transparent doesn't mean everybody knows everything. You're transparent about the things where that's what's appropriate. And we get to have discernment. There's this whole thing, well, that's not very transparent of you. I get to have discernment. I get to choose what I share in a given context. If you haven't negotiated a more robust truth out of me, help me, Jesus. You may get a one-word answer from me, and that's all I've got to share. And I will swear on anything that anybody thinks is holy that that's my full truth, because it is. You don't get my robust truths. You don't get that. I get to decide who deserves that and who doesn't, and you don't. That's it. That doesn't make you a bad person. You don't fit my criteria. It's not even about worthiness. You don't fit my criteria, and it's my house. That's why I have a planet for myself. Over here, I get to do a whole bunch of things. I get to do more and more things. That's why I keep telling people, okay, when I say bring your wallet, you may have a coupon for 10 years of free cab rides in New York, unlimited. That works for me. You know, like bring what you have. You have a way of strengthening older muscles that is almost guaranteed not to pull them and strengthens them faster. I'm interested. We get to trade stuff. If you want to bring a thing that's going to uplift my life, what I bring is helping you expand how you root into your greatness in your own life. And you'll practice it with me and then keep track of the changes you make in your life, rooted in what you learn with me. And I started to say, what people are paying me for is not figuring out the next thing that's going to make more of the 8 billion people's lives better. That's what I'm coming away from. That's my shadow. The shine is that I really, really, really love working with people who are ready to take stuff and run with it. Got it. Totally understand. And, if you wind up going, and thank you for being here, all of you. And you're not, and again, you're not slow, darling. You're at the pace where you are. And I love it. I love feeling. I don't know what I'm feeling until y'all tell me. I'm feeling y'all. I don't know which parts are individuals. I give access to the, whatever the atmospheric orbity thing is, where y'all get to be and I get to know it. It's fantastic. So no, not slow. And I'm delighted and honored that you are here in this time. Jerry Littlejohn. I'm doing this class tomorrow. I'm doing the no charge class on safety. Tomorrow, I announce the class that I am charging for. And I am all up in my stuff about money. And I'm all up in that healer garbage, which is also make yourself smaller garbage, about charging for something that I know works and I know I can do easily. And I'm being blunt about the kind of change that can happen when we learn these things and let them calibrate us over time. If you're not tracking, it's really hard to know, because my stuff will come up and it'll be rising up and you will feel this little nip on your butt 6 months from now, and there'll be nothing to tie it to me. Nothing. Unless you're taking a class or you're looking for it. It's that moment when that first root of what you allowed me, the grace gift of seeding with you in your world, in that class of how to be able to create safety inside yourselves and safety for others at the same time. Source yourselves energetically in a way that will get you through situations. And by taking that class and other classes, you learn skills like how to handle the shift and change before stress even happens. It's the only reason why I'm on as little high blood pressure medicine as I am at my weight and my age and my, wellness state. And even that's getting better. We have tools and they work. And I'm still the shaman and I'm still the Harvard degree and I get to be all of that. And it gets to be intersectionality across interdimensional bridges, gates, and portals. Oh my. We get to apply our magic that's come out of our empowerment, that leads into our growth, that comes out of our capacity to actualize things out of our agency, out of the full sphere of our agency. That shit gets to be real when you're figuring out how to create a business plan that you're going to present so that you can get a couple $1 million to do a thing. You get to bring all that magic into that. You get to bring that love. You get to be a demand that the love be present and that it be healing. You get to be that demand and have that be answered. So what I specialized in was becoming that. So I get to put that into people's lives. I'm setting up a thing for bragging. It was the first time we spoke about power. And then the many weeks, oh, yep. Wow. All right, folks, Jerry, I want folks to witness living example of what I mean. I did those power, what was it? The power prayer hour with JWoww or some wildness like that. I made some shit up. And because Katrina Cordovos asked me, Katrina Cordovos can ask me to walk across, and I don't mean hot cold. She can ask me to walk across lava that I am watching flow. And if she asks me to walk across it, I'm obviously going to be safe. That's how I feel about her. So she's like, hey, come pray. People will come. It'll matter. And I'm like, okay. So I did. And now here I hear that you took notes and you shared it. I missed that, Jerry. I missed that. I have not quite understood all of what I have felt from you about us in terms of your levels of respect. I've been honored by it and I've trusted it because there's nothing sycophantic about it at all. It's that it's all it's all this empoweredness. And I'm like, I don't remember earning this one. I don't remember earning this one. And I'm honored and I don't remember earning this one. Even with what you're saying, I'm blown away. Thank you. I am honored. That's my dream and you know it. I want to matter. Y'all, I don't want to be famous. I really don't. I want to matter. To the folks that love to be famous, want to be out there, what have you, I want to matter to those folks. I want to matter to the folks who are invisible and like it that way. Like straight up, there have been people who look at me and they're like, okay, never seen that before. That's dark fae and that's light fae, and they're standing there and they're both smiling at you. What the fuck are you? Like, I have no idea. I don't know when, like, the fae worlds decided that I would be like some sort of really huggable Switzerland. I am honored out of mind and grateful as fuck because fae in human-ish form and not have taken care of my ass my whole life. They feel gratitude and love for real. It's like it. I got KKK member and Nazi to listen to me. I had a beloved warn me. I love this. True, straight up. I had a beloved come to the house, drive the hour and 45 minutes to come to the house specifically to warn me that, yes, she wanted me at her wedding. And yes, her father was a bigot who used the word nigger on a regular basis. She didn't want me to blow my stack. I started laughing. I said, honey, he's not a Nazi. He's not a KKK member, and I got them to be cool with me. So we're good. And I'm so delighted and honored and thank you and da 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 da. Okay. So we're at the wedding. I go up to meet the dad. She comes over and he's like, I want to adopt her. And she just looks at me and I'm like, I told you. Okay. In almost every situation, my love and power rooted in sphering charisma trumps your hate almost every time. That gets to be true. Because inside everybody, there's a love for something, even if it's a love for the hate. And that's one that fucks with people's heads. Some people love to hate. That's all they got. And not this, I had a traumatized childhood. There's some people who had some real easy times this time. There's some people who got some chemical shit going on. There's some people whose shit got jacked up. There's some people who love to hate. Sometimes it's just a blinding rage. I got saved from that by some real special people. I was definitely headed in that direction. And I fought it. I fought it, and people saw me fight it, and they stood by me, and they stood with me, and they picked me up when I came. I fell down. I just fell down, and I stopped. And I literally would have died if they hadn't picked me up. So I get to be this, like every moment I'm breathing, every moment I get to share with you guys, it's this living, ongoing, triumphant, magical, wonderful thing that I'm getting to spend time with you and am composting live legends out of the lessons of my hyperbolic life. I love these sentences so much. People are starting to realize that I'm actually synopsizing my life, which is why I talk, 2 hours a night, 4 or 5 nights a week. I love that that's true. You know what I get off on? Nothing's going to happen to me for a really long time. There are a whole bunch of folks making sure that that's happening, and I see that. I'm happy about that. And I know that if I were to pass over and die tonight, there would be thousands of people trying to get to whatever funeral there was for me. I haven't even hit my millions yet. If people come together because they love me, I'm good with that. Do the come together part. That's how you love me. Figure it the fuck out. Do the come together part. Figure it the fuck out. I'm so serious. War is a game to the people who run it, the people who keep them going. It's a game. They get off on it. Even when they're trying to stop it, they get off on it. The good ones. The ones who don't make it, the ones who aren't good at it, there's no game in it for them. There's no growth, agency, magic, and empowerment. There's no long arc for them. There's what's in front of them, and what's in front of them is way bigger than what they can see. As we grow with this languaging of inclusion, welcome, and empowerment that I keep bringing, as we grow in that, as you watch me do this across these videos, as you share these with your beloveds, Jerry, you gave me a hope tonight I have been aching. I have said to Spirit, please, somebody needs to be sharing this. Even if I don't know, I need somebody that I respect to be sharing this, because I'm putting everything out. Everything. I'm putting everything out. Trusting that it matters. And I realize I'm getting tired. But I'm not tired, and I'm not tired if there's somebody that I respect who gets it. Is that codependent or whatever some shrink wants to say? I don't care. That's fair. That's a fair exchange. I put it all out and it gets shared. That's what I'm asking. Because out there are going to be people who go, this is what I resonate with. Okay, great. Needs a place where she can put what she needs. Great. I want what I want because I want it. I need what I need because I need it. That's the other side of that. So I want Post-its to sponsor me. If there's a green Post-its, I want them to sponsor me. If there isn't, I want regular Post-its to sponsor me. I can go through 10,000 of them, literally. I have pictures. It was tens of thousands of them in 7 weeks. I bought boxes of Post-its that I went through by myself, boxes of Post-its in 7 weeks. Yes, you're hearing me, Jerry. And now I can feel and I know. And so I'm going to keep going. I just need one. I've always said that, Spirit. I need one. I need somebody who I know is out there and got reach. Linda is right here making sure that I'm good. She's learning reach. Some of that she's learning with me. You've got a whole different thing you've got going. I don't even know all the stuff you've got going. I haven't looked yet. I need to do this right now. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm going to come get to where you are. And more than that, there's going to be a way that you come bring that here. I'm not ready to go out yet. What y'all want me to learn, bring it and let's figure that out. Like, that's where I am. So far, it's working. Went into flute making. Flute's taught me amazing things today. Others heard the music. It's in motion. Thank you. That's what I need to hear. See, now I will come back to this video and I will read that over and over again, bawling my eyes out, going, I did get it right. I did get it right. I stayed with it. People forget I'm autistic because I talk so damn much. Okay? That would be wonderful. You know what I'd love? I'd love you and Ronnie Jean Andrews Neal to get together and talk about making music for each one of us. She's the only person on the entire planet who knows all 24 of us. And she's met you. And then we make that into lullabies for folks who resonate with the different parts. And like we make it, I would love, Etal, we've already talked about this. Okay, Etal, we've already talked about this. Here's what we want to do. Like, whoever's a super organizer, here's what I want to do. Here's what we want to do together. We want to do a full internal multiple collective project. We've got music from people that we trust with the programming who have allowed themselves to be calibrated by us to then calibrate us with their art and their science. They've been vetted. That's a thing, people. People are like, well, don't call it that. I'm like, why not call it that? Ask people who have been going through it. You got to get past Ronnie Jean Andrews Neal to get to me. Now it's her and Rainey. And now James and J-Cat. And then there's stuff like this. You want to record a lullaby CD? Great. I've got one that's a universal one called Breathe. that I've already recorded. And it's me doing it's me singing and doing my zone chanting and percussion stuff. Oh, there's other people doing percussion. I'm doing my zone chanting and then I'm singing. And it's called Breathe. And it's me breathing. It's lungs that are the same size as a 6'2" football player in my 5'5" body. It's scary. It's really cool. And that's breathing that extra in this whole thing. I had someone say, I came at the end of Gabriel Roth event, some big event, and someone put Breathe on, and everybody said it was like cosmic sex was one of the descriptions. It was just like they just went. They had never experienced anything like that at that event. Okay. See, here's the issue. People are like, well, do you have testimonials? Yes. Thousands upon thousands of them all over the place. I don't think about it. I read them. I feel good. I keep going. Other people are going to need to find them. I'm living it. Like, that's the thing that I'm realizing. I'm doing my part. I'm living a legendary life that has planning. It is so much planning that I made it a plan net. Oh, I love that so much. Plan net J.A.M.E. Yep. That's exactly what it is. Everybody on planet J.A.M.E, most of their lives are not on planet J.A.M.E, and yet they're on planet J.A.M.E, and they bring those lives to planet J.A.M.E and what they do, and they do their own stuff. No offense, I'm a fucking hermit. I'm a gregarious hermit. It's a trip. This works for me. I think my life is badass. I know I inspire people. I want to, so I can, here, on their terms. I don't have to be too much. Y'all can literally slow me down. I'm on YouTube now. I need somebody to help run my YouTube channel. Oh, by the way, Rainey built me all these channels in Discord. If you're somebody who's a Discord freak and wants to help me run my Discord, let me know. Okay, I want to build access for people who will probably never go rogue with me. You know, that won't ever go Mustang and then go to Planet J.A.M.E. Like, they'll never make that journey. Right? They may never take a class with me. And they can be part of a community of people who are getting what they need from and with me, and have it be safe. I want to build safe places so that people, as safe as I can make them. I can't do any guarantees. There may very well be people out there who don't want this to happen. And I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I do feel that this is going to be wonderful because I make room in some way, shape, or form. I tell people what you can do on planet. I've already built places where I am off planet. So people that I'm like, if you do these things, you can't be on planet. However, there are places where I am where you do you. Don't do certain things in front of me because now you're in my space. Don't do that. I know that you do it. There may be things that I work to see don't happen. Please know that if one of them is something that you're doing, I'm also taking into consideration that you're doing it and that you're a being. So I'm also looking at, why are you doing that? And are you in pain? Do you enjoy this? Do you enjoy the pain? Is it simply that what is it that you're looking to achieve that feels out of alignment to me? That you're getting? What are you getting from this thing that feels out of alignment to me? It may not be the thing that you're doing at all, and I'd like to know what that is, because if there is any way that I can help you get that in a way that's in alignment with me being able to be with you, I'm all over that. I am all over that. Got to figure that shit out. Got to negotiate it. Where does your trust occur? Where does your equivalent of trust occur? Where does your equivalent of integrity occur? Not honor, integrity. If I choose between honor and integrity, I'll take honor if there's nothing else. I will take integrity, because integrity can beget honor. Honor does not beget integrity. Yeah, not even. Read Honor Harrington. That's real. That's real. I've gone back and found people that I owed $100 to, that I was supposed to pay back in less than a year. I've gone back after 15 years of not being able to pay it, and I got to their name on the list, and I told them that they would make 10% on their $100, and I paid them that and the interest and thanked them. And they're like, right, I forgot this. Yeah, hang out in your workshop with more people. You see where I am, right? Okay. Yeah, and sometimes I have to remind myself to act like, okay, it's not so much as sometimes anymore, because I did a trick, Jerry. I put the caring human on a trigger, and I put it on this like nano-timed trigger. So there's this constant event of caring that happens. And if it's constant, if it's contiguous, at a small enough level, it becomes the thing for those who perceive at a larger meta level with that, which is why we can listen to digitized music on a CD, which is why CDs have become less muscle testing as bad, as both we have become acclimated and the technology for CDs has gotten, smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and tighter and tighter and tighter. And so it's closer and closer to analog. And now they're blending them. It's just wonderful, the tech that's coming out of this interface of wave and particle. If people are like, oh, it's that theoretical physics. I'm like, honey, that's not theoretical physics. That's your iPod. And why it sounds so fucking good now. Right? You see, questions like, where does your, how do I trust you, is not the same question as where does your equivalent of trust occur? Because if you can figure that out, then you figure out, how do I trust you given where your equivalent of trust occurs? They did it in Dune, that amazing scene where the desert king spits at the boot of the, Atreides, and, Mr., off-worlders, guard guys like, it's like, chill. And he spits back and he's like, it's a desert world. He just gave me his royal water. Okay? Personally. Fuck gold. Right? You got to know where people are coming from. You don't have to do a damn thing. I apologize. No, you don't. You don't have to do a thing. I'm really going to be correcting myself on that. Don't y'all correct me. I'm not ready to do that yet. Only the folks who get permission, who have permission to do that, know how to do that so that I don't get triggered about it and know that I'm working on it. And that's how I want to work that. I'm going to let you guys know how to treat me well and then look for you to do it. And then that's how you learn. We'll just learn in public together in these free places. And then it'll get narrowed down. And I'm narrowing down. Once I started realizing I needed to put the effort in relating, it started becoming more automatic, right? And it's not a taking for granted. It's simply an automaticity that some of us need because it's not our first thought. It's one of the reasons I create a circle to work with as I work on flutes. Magnificent. I want to know what you're going to need from me, us, to have a flute out of this that's mine, that I'd like to learn how to play. I'll live with it for a while if you are willing and if that's appropriate. That's what I would love. and I want you to get paid for it, and I don't want to pay for it. I want you to get paid, like not even your full price. I want you to get your full price plus some. I don't get any more friend and family discounts. I'm not going to discount me bringing my better than I even bring strangers because I know you extra love. I'm not going to get paid less for that. That is a lesson. That is a false lesson of generosity. That's not generosity. That's devaluing ourselves. I won't do it. I want my friends and family to go, no, no, no. We're going to get what you do. We know you'll do extra for us. We're going to get how much more. We assume at least 25, percent, 30% more. And would you feel good with that? Because we'll get more. We can get more. I want folks to save up. I want them to raise the money that I've raised to be able to be with beloveds. And I've also taken those discounts. I want to get to choose when they happen. I want somebody to want it so much and to try so hard and to not quite get it. And then go, you know what? Make it count. You're in. And then that I still get paid out of some fund that's set up to take care of those moments for me. And I still make what I planned on making. So I still build stability in because I have extra, and that's taken care of by beloveds. I want y'all to take care of me. I want to model for the world that you do not need to be broken in order to be deeply cared for, yummed up, and loved. I know what it is to be broken and to be taken care of, for people to catch me at every moment. People come swooping in, and it wasn't rescue. It was straight up save. I was going down. And I didn't because people showed up. I didn't get caught and then people came and got me. I never got to the they came get me part. They made sure that somebody was with me. That's how I learned paladinship. People would take shifts to be with me. They had their own grid. The collective was taking care of me and one another. There you go. Great, Jerry. Do you have that written up somewhere, how you did that? I want to start putting that stuff in a database. Somebody please help me build a big data database. I want us to cross-reference all these wisdoms. I want to sit down with people who live for this kind of cross-referencing, and I want them to simply do it. It's just to figure it out. Come back to me with something else that I can feed and figure it out this way and figure it out that way, because I can feel these connections. And if you bring me your languaging, that's what I'm doing. That's why I can find stuff for any one of you that's ready. This is the time for me, for us. Jerry, you just changed so much tonight. I want to thank you. I put it out to spirit. I'm like, I'm gonna stay on here and I can feel it soon. And I'm tired, and I'm tired fast. Yeah, exactly. So, Jerry, what I love is that's what I hoped for. I know that it doesn't need to be improved. It can use more languaging that orients it into inclusion, welcome, and empowerment that you know and love, that's more conversational, that lives in the power that I know that you know. I mean, like, I'm letting myself have the gift of savoring that you know what I'm talking about at levels that I didn't know that you knew. Wow. I'm being spoken out in the world. This is fantastic. Wow. Thank you. Wow. Wow. Oh, please. It would be such an honor It would be such an honor. So here's the thing. All right, so here's the game. All right, so here's my game. All right, so folks, so Jerry gets it. So this is my game. Y'all just listen in. So I would like for there to be one flute that is played around everything that you do until it comes to me. Even if it's just like one note, and it just like wherever that it's there, because I want the resonances of your magnificence as much with me with that. I got a whole tree of magical things that imprint me next to an amplifier that LJ made, and I want to put that in the resonator, and so because it resonates out to everyone. Like I would love to do that and play that. Wow, yes. And there's some sort of ceremony, and then I come from you. Exactly. Okay, so I said I come from you is what I meant was the flute from you. I as flute. Oh. Oh. Wow, Jerry. So you just did your shaman thing for me with me just then in my world. I felt meus as flute when I said that because I was completely focused on you, even in this tech. Did you feel that? That's what happened on this side. Was there anything that happened over there? Right here. If there was something, put it in the comments. Okay? We may have just documented, if this is what I think this was, I got to do the thing that I've been wanting to do of experiencing someone's mastery in a way that's epiphanic for me. And that's imprinted in this moment. Okay, on this end. And if it isn't on that end, all good. All right. And I hope I'm saying that well. I'm hoping that saying it's not a rejection. It's I got me. What happened over there? I want here. That's what's happening here. Okay. So it's a lesson. We're both maesters. So anybody who sees this, learn to recognize when the moment happened for me, and then check in deep with Jerry Littlejohn's stuff, so that you get to the place where that gets shared and make your own correlations, because that was a huge moment. My life changed right then. Right then. That was evolutionary right then. There's nothing revolutionary about that. That rooted right in. Fantastic. Okay, so you got it. Fantastic. Okay. Folks, I don't even know all of what happened here. Jerry, I would love it if you would put in something that we can turn into a blog together. I'll answer on you, you answer on me, or something about what just happened. Because here's what happened for me, folks. That went out to all of you who are starting to learn how to tap in with me. Those of you who are figuring out what makes me happy, all my lines are bliss lines. All my lines are bliss lines. Bliss lines, bliss lines. All my lines are bliss lines all the way. Okay, like we're just reaching out in bliss and trust and safety and sovereignty. Safety and sovereignty, that's the S's. B is bridging beauty. One of the S's is sovereign safety. The other S is shine shadow. So it's 2 each. It ought to be 3 each for bliss. 15. Yeah. be 3 each. So that's beauty, bridging, and balance. That's the B. Beauty, bridging, balance. Okay. This is for me. You do yours. Like, I'd love to hear what people's bliss is. And then spell it out. Okay, I need to, like, okay, I want to set up on my site a place where, no, I want to set up on a channel in Discord. Somebody get this to Rainey Ford. I want to set up on a, or Linda. Either one of you can walk me through it if I can't figure it out myself. I'm going to set up a place on Discord where people can put their bliss. And people can join that Discord for free. All right. And so they can put what their bliss is. And it's 3 things. Right? Spell out your bliss, right? Beauty, bridging, balance. Okay, what did I say that the last 2 were? I said one of them is shine, shadow, and oh, I love this. One is shine, shadow, safety. And the other one is sovereignty, Savereignty, which is SEVA-REIGNTY, Savereignty. And the third one is sovereignty, SAVOUREIGNTY. And they're the sovereignty triptych. So those are the 2 S's. So the L, fantastic. So the L, I'm going to do this right here with y'all, and then I'm going to learn them. Y'all will learn that I really mean that thing. Just because I write the music doesn't mean I'm memorized. Okay? I'm learning it right with you. It's just easier for me because I made it up. It is easier for me. I definitely have an advantage. I'm definitely privileged in this, and I still don't know it. Almost know is still not know. Okay? Right. So yeah, sovereignty, savereignty, sovereignty. I got it's a whole thing. There's a whole humanality journey is what I'm referring to. So when people learn their humanality journey, these are things that they'll come back to. And this ties into the bliss that we're tying into everything. All of these things actually have there's a whole class on getting to sovereignty, and a whole class on getting to savereignty, and a whole class on getting into sovereignty, and all of those things and the stuff in between. And it's like, I've got it built. I am this thing that's got it built, and I'm enjoying being this thing because you guys exist. Do you know how much fun you are? Right? Thank you. I'm not alone. I like being alone, okay? However, I feel like Margaret Ayers, all right? And look her up. I got things, and they make people's lives better. So I'm gonna go make people's lives better. And yeah, this whole inner world. Okay, sweetheart, yes, that is part. I will nod. I have lots and lots of, when I tell people, yes, like they say, don't tell people that there are other people like them when they share their inner thing with you. And I'm trying to say the thing quickly that I'm going to get to, because I want them to know how honored I am that they have shared this with me, and I want them to know that they are not alone. And when you say that to somebody who wants to be unique, because that's all they've got, then they feel like you've taken something away from them, and I get that. And so I'm not playing with those people much anymore, because I have lots of examples of different kinds of uniqueness. It's all different. And they're all unique. And there are patterns. And that gets to be good. Putting the plan in plan net. I play long game. You want to know what I'm doing? Go watch Miss Sloan with Jessica Chastain. That's what I'm doing. Okay, it's like except I'm doing it for 8 billion people and building a planet that they can figure out how to live into and how to come together on. There's some people who are going to have to come further than others. But I tell you right now, there's a chance that we can heal enough folks that we pass a tipping point. I think that's possible. I really do. And I've got used to love Trump beloveds who don't, who are working with BIPOC folks, who are schooling them on their shit as they help them work with their trans family beloveds. That gets to be my reality. It's badass as fuck. I'm literally living into the thing of you don't give up on people when they're working hard. You do not give up on people when they are working hard. And so this is my way of making sure that those of you who don't have the money, just like I didn't, I'm making sure that you have everything that the people who have tons of money, you got the same seeds they've got. Now they have worked on things to this time around time. They're coming with me to places that require the kind of sourcing that they have in order to sustain me to do the things that make it possible for me to share this with you so that you can leapfrog, so that you can be working with folks. I did. Tony Robbins was in my ear on a cassette. I still have my cassettes downstairs. I haven't listened to him in decades. I was listening to him on a cassette as I was sitting with my burgeoning Harvard degree in the gas office about to ask for leniency because I couldn't figure out how to make money from being me and not have my soul cave. Because I was crazy as a loon and just barely out, and I was out. That man was in my ear. He was all up in my face. He was all up in my internal faces. And he's like, look, I'm here with you. I am right there with you. I know you feel like you don't have anything. You got nowhere to go. You're not even backed up against a corner. You got nothing. I am right there with you. Here's what we're going to do. You feel like you can't stand up? You're going to stand up with me. I got up and I looked around and I'm like, I'm betting that the other folks that I'm looking at don't have Harvard degrees. There's something I'm not doing and there's something I'm not valuing about myself, and I'm going to fix that. And that was that. That was the end of that. And I turned around and fixed it. And I fixed it good. I want that man. I keep telling people, get Tony Robbins to call me. I challenge Tony Robbins to call me because he likes challenges. And Tony, I'm not challenging you. I'm inviting you. I have something that next gens where you are. I'm never going to go the places you go. I don't want to go the places you go. However, I have Mojusin for you, Mr. Anthony Robbins. Delightful one. I have Mojusin for you. And I believe that you can help build incredible intersectional bridges. And I invite you to come learn some things that will facilitate and accelerate your getting to do that in the ways that I personally believe your heart of hearts wants to. Over in my away from you place, I have stood by you when you stuck your foot in the intersectional wood chipper. Lord have mercy, son. You got feet still? Have you grown those back yet? You're so close. And there's a timing thing, and there's a wording thing, and there's a future thing that I believe. I've got a future thing that I get to share with folks who are doing the work. All caps. 172 point boldface Gothic. And there'll be a bunch of us there who've done the work in other places. And we all get to be, it's a level playing field. That's the conversation we're having. It is a level playing field. What does that mean? What gets shifted where? Where is this differently valuable? We start talking about the diversities of valuation. I want to get into those conversations. Because when we can come out of that kind of languaging and unpack it so that it's something that affects how much milk is at the grocery store, because there's a fairness that starts to grow in places. We use the technology to show where there really is surplus, and how do we take care of the people who have that surplus, who get to get paid in ways that actually help them do what they need to do. Like, how do we do that? How do we take care of each other is what it comes down to at a global level. Some folks are able to take care of a whole bunch of folks. Some folks need to take care of themselves. And that's a triumph. Some of us need to take care of ourselves. A conversation around valuation, absolutely. Right? There's a conversation with ourselves that we get to have that gets to be where we learn the nuances of what to pay attention to in order to discern those who are resonating with our roots and valuations. That's what we're coming into on Planet JWoww. That's what we're playing with, and we're bridging it out into the world. I keep saying on Planet JWoww, we've got shuttles out. You've got shuttles. They are bridging shuttles. They are bridgeneering shuttles. They're both bridging, and we have bridging trawlers. We have bridgeneering shuttles, those that are able to go back and forth between the different places of the 4M and come back to that center of Planet JWoww. Our axes for Planet JWoww are the 4M's of the skin of magic, inside which, and in our limb, our set of lemniscate Tauruses. I want to say Tauri, but that's not, etymologically correct. I still like Tauri. Maybe I'll call them Tauri because they're not Tauruses, because they're living things that, I'm going to play with that. All right, great. So there are people who will unpack that or who will nod their heads and thank you very much. All right, so I was talking about the Tauruses, I'm talking about the inside, I'm talking about the skin, I'm talking about the 4M's. So the 4M's of the skin of magic, whatever that shape is, around the axes of mainstream, mountain, and margin. And being able to map that, I want a fleet of 3D CAD CAM artists who are video game wizards with a balance of pan, binary, non, whatever the thing is, gender, sex, I don't give a shit, somebody talk about it, thing that has to do with some kind of gasm, arousal, all arousals thing. Okay, there. Y'all take that and turn it into something that makes sense. All right. And it's 1:43. Now it's 1:44. In the where it is on the tape. Okay, I got lost. I can see it. You're talking about so the 4M's, right? So those all come together in the skin of magic, right? And that's what we live here. So everything lands somewhere in there for us and then gets sourced both by center and skin. And that skin, that membrane, is why we have the opportunity to easily and adapt and expand or nope wall as necessary. Some magic skin, literally. And you're fading. Sweet one, I'm not far behind. It's 3:00 here. And this has been lovely. Learning from that I have a line in my IQ means I have a hidden mind. I think it's possible too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I want classes in how to play with this so that it's affordable for folks and I still get to teach it. Like I could do this with, 100 folks who have done the things that prep them so that I can just hit the ground running instead of having to explain all the little things, right? Like I have things, I'm building the things that they can watch so they can be totally up to speed and we just hit the ground running and go and learn some stuff together. That's what I really want to do. Find me 100 folks who are like us and then let's do that. I believe they're on Web of Love. I don't know how to advertise on there. If you know folks who've been active on there who want to like interview me or something so that we can start getting me out there, that'd be great. We'll figure something out. It's time, and I'm asking y'all to help me, and because y'all also know that I'm going to ask you to help me in ways that will also help you, because that's how I work. So let's do this. That's where I am. I'm ready. So I'm going to say goodnight then. Oh, that's just precious. That's just precious, Jerry. Good night, sweetheart. Thank you. See, folks, this gets to be intimacy. EN. This is unfolding from afar. This is remote. And it still has that whatever intimacy is. It's not the in. This is the around. This is the I'm here. And you showed up. And you come back and I'm having fun and I'm getting to learn you here. And I really love that. And you're definitely pulling a Rainy. Okay, Rainy let me know long after the fact that there was stuff that she was doing with notes that she took from me. It's called pulling a Rainy. That's literally the compliment. Like that's that's one of the medals of allyship. The Rainy. Took notes while you talked. You did you. I took what I needed. I built things on your stuff deliberately, built you in deliberately. And here I'm back. It's later, linearly, and I'm back. And I want to let you know that this is what I've got. And I think that now we can do some things. Let's figure out what that is. And there's no way to do that except for us to connect the way that we did and then keep connected whenever that happened. And now this. Didn't see it, knew something was going to come. So, yeah, this is fantastic. And I want to talk about this process. Like I want to get on one of these streams with you. I can do that. I can send you a link and you can come on with me and, we can show people whatever part of your studio, like you can, prep, so what needs to be not shown isn't shown and we can talk. And we talk about what shows up for both of us in that moment. That's fun. I want to do that. Maesters at play. Oh, map. That just happened. Maesters at play. Map. It just happens. It's like there, and you get to play with it, and then you get to start. Yeah, we can make some music. They have these. I because of you, I went and looked them up. There's some things now that we can do that are called sync studios or something like that, where you can lay yours down and it syncs everything up, and yeah, that I think I would love to get you a copy of Breathe. and invite you to play with it on the flute that chooses me through you. Oh, okay. Oh no, it's all good, sweetheart. I got this. Thank you. What you do, you are so Scribe Tribe. Like, we need to have some sort of official, cool, like, welcome party for you. Like, someplace, me and Linda and Anne, get in touch with Anne, Ronnie Jean, she can come and, you know, and welcome you to the Scribe Tribe. You've just been fantastic. That I want that to mean something. That's like showing up for me, you know, talking at hyperdrive speed, keeping up with shit, making sure that there are markers so that I can triangulate. This is so that I can triangulate. We have the video. More than likely, this is also going to otter.ai. What this also tells us, however, is what is the point at which it strikes you? See, you and Linda and other folks who are like on it, the very thing that people hate Facebook for is the very thing that is helping me, us grow. It's not that the information is bad. It's what you do with it. What this tells me is what sparks for you so that I can calibrate what comes through me, what comes through us. And it's right there as data for other people to read. Oh, they did this with that, and I resonate this way. All right, well, I'll try and use this in my game at their same place and see what happens. Oh, wow, it has the same result. That's deep. This gets to be good life data, like real life data. We are the machine that processes the data when we share and pay attention. I am a Google plexionaire in attention to detail. Elon Musk, I lose what that man will make, what he has made so far, and what he will make for the next 50 years. If everything goes beyond his wildest dreams, I can lose that in a day and not miss it. I got so much attention to detail. If it's what's needed for the spiritual growth of this planet, and this planet is inside me, this planet is inside me, and it birthed a planet for y'all. That just happened. Got it. It's like Ronnie Jean's here. I use her as an example. It's like Rainy's here. It's like J Cat's here. It's like Abby Spinner is here. Much as she can't stand me, I have such respect for what she has done in her life. You know, it's like Captain Green, all these folks across time. Virginia slept, all of them. Catherine Bose. All of them. Food, feeding, growth. Thank you. Excuse me. I'm building a legend where folks say things like, I get mentioned on blah, blah, blah date at blah, blah, blah time in the direct to JWoww archives. And people are like, oh, really? And people are like, holy shit, dude, what was that like? Right? I want to be that person. I have been that person for people. Jason Cohen, part of why I love going to Jason Cohen events is that I've known Jason so long that no matter how long these children have been playing with him, they were in diapers when Jason and I first knew each other. Okay. And so they'll say like, yo, I was there with da 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 da. I was there with da da da. And I was there da da da. And like, I was there when he thought up the name Forest Dance. And all of a sudden the elder that we treat with such respect, love, and make sure she doesn't trip, is suddenly like, really? Do tell, right? And I'm like, I just love having the information that turns me from ghoul to cool in a heartbeat. I love it so much. I love it so much. No, people don't think of me as a ghoul. I'm just saying that. People love me. There's so many people who love me. I know everyone doesn't love me. Okay, this happened. This happened. Is an event with 550 people. I knew about 400 of them. Probably all 550. Anyway. I asked as many of them as I could over the span of 2 weeks, and I mean hundreds of that 400, to please tell me what they simply excused and did not like about me, and suggestions for what would make that part that irritated them easier for them in me. Yeah. Nobody had anything. And I'm shaking my head because at first I didn't believe them. And then I believed them. And then over time, I realized that they were saying the truth for that time. I had plenty to learn. Some of them stayed. Some of them helped me learn things. At that moment, it was actually true. And I almost didn't hold on to it. It took hundreds of them. How many what is your threshold for trust? It's hundreds of iterations of contiguous affirmation. Sometimes thousands. Ronnie Jean Andrews Neal, co-creator of Planet JWoww. Ronnie Jean Andrews Neal, I met her 4 years ago. For the first year and a half, we spent 11 to 19, sometimes more than that, but on average, 11 to 19 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week for a year and a half. You made that happen. You made that happen. And this is out of that, which is why she's co-creator. James Novakowski is our source tendon. He's actually our source tendon door. I'm still learning the, music, learning. Sorcerer door, that's what it is. There's the source tendon and there's the sorcerer door. And I almost have the differentiation. I'll get that. By the way, folks, for those of you who don't realize what's happening, I'm building a video game. I'm building a virtual video game out loud. If you know people who want to build a game, there's thousands of hours of video about what this is. You can put in the data for how people learn. We can parse it up together. You can build out what we need. The magic is there. There's safe places to learn. There are edgy places to learn, safe places to learn, edgy places to learn, right? We get to have all of that, have the learning occur. If you haven't read Armageddon Inheritance, I think it is, by David Weber. Yeah. Dayhawk. Yeah, I've had 2 different people want to make my life into a game. And I want people who need connections and have drive to come play with me. I have connections. I have people who want to help. They need to see that I'm getting help because they know how big my dreams are and that I collapse under the weight of my dreams when I try and bring them forward. The way that my dreams are happening right now is because other people are bringing them forward. That's how they're happening. I'm able to have this class. I want people to sign up for the safety class. That's what I want. The next thing that I want, here, I'm prepping everybody. The end of May, I'm going to have a safety class. It'll be 4 weeks. We're going to dive into what I've been giving away for free because I want people to have the rudiments of the ideas so that they can imagine for themselves what the safety can be. In the classes, I'll show people more about how to carve that out for themselves. You need a safety that truly is your own so that you can carry it and promulgate it out into your ever expanding isness, your power, your reach. And that affects when there's a unified, it's not integrated, a unified message around what that safety means, sovereign awareness for from everyone, thank you. When there's that kind of unification in message with enough folks at enough gatherings, you're going to cross a threshold of energetic safety that's actually real and rooting into spaces and people. That's what we're going for. We're going for the ever expanding, ever enriching, ever unfolding prayer for stable safety. There's a whole lot of wellness that has to happen for that to occur. There's a whole lot of opening that has to happen for that to occur. There's a whole lot of closing down of that which needs to be closed, that which needs to be composted, that which needs to move on. There's a whole lot of that that's going on. That gets to be true. I want to say a special thank you to Caitlin Breen, KATLYN BREENE. Oh, she's one of the ones for the sphere that I'm talking about. That's what the sphere was. See, if I talk long enough, I'll bring myself back around. All right. For a towel. When you hear breathe, whatever you get, that's the it I wanted you to get. Whatever it is, it'll be magnificent. Okay. Over there. Great. When you get that breathing with the stories that you've heard, so you can fill in the nuances that most people can't hear because they don't know those stories, because they didn't take those notes. I know what I said in those power hours. I started laying down the seeds for this. I'm just remembering calling you killers, reminding me. I'm not crazy. We're early. Thank you. I want you to hit off the pillow for that one. Yeah, the video game. Yeah, there are people who could make that game happen, like something make that happen. They don't have the focus. I know that the people with the focus and the desire are out there. Maybe they aren't coding video games yet. Maybe they're coding them in weird. This stuff is happening. It's happening. Like, it's happening now. There are parts of it that happen in linear time. And the experience that I had with you was epiphatic. It just went out in all directions in this lifetime's lives. It's like Ryan gave all 24 of us that experience, held the skin for all 24 of us to have that opening into ourselves or Boris-gasm thing. All 24 of us, animals, everybody, just held that space. So we're going to have that model when we talk about bliss. So I just reminded us, we have beauty, bridging, and I think it's balance. And we have sovereignty, sovereignty, and sovereignty. And we have shine, shadow, and safety. And we have History / I story. We'll see if the other two are. And love is one of the L's. They'll come. We're doing such a thing, beloveds. Sacredness is a gift and a given. Reverence is a calling and a choice. I think you guys are the first people to ever hear that spoken out loud. Sacredness is a gift and a given. Reverence is a calling and a choice. I thought about laughter. That was exactly the second one, and I didn't say it. Thank you very much. Here's why not laughter. Sometimes in bliss, there's a place that's so far beyond laughter. And it's a beyond. Laughter is such a small part of that. I may wind up making up a word for that. It's that. If there comes a time when folks can reach through this camera and feel whatever this is that's right here, it's this. I'm going to play the game that one day there'll be a technology that can do that. So I give you this. This is a world that understands war, is ready for war, and doesn't have many of them, and not the way that we understand it. It's right there. It's right there. I get to live in the center of it and decode it and get to share it here, and folks use it. And here's the thing, I say, it's a game. And then people say, hi, I shared this with my beloveds, and I took notes, and I believed you, and it works. And I'm like, I opened my mouth and things came out, and I knew that they made sense. And I prayed to have the power to share well. And then I did it. And now I get to find out that I really did it. Yay. Instances, hundreds. At one point, Spinner looked at me and she said, at that point, I think we had fed like 110,000 people or something like that, 110,000 families. And she said, Jules, how many people do you need to feed before you think you're worthy of being here? Like, at all? And I said, I don't know. We did a little exercise, and I felt into hundreds of thousands, and nope. And I felt into millions, and it was no. Somewhere upward of like the 10 million or so, I felt like, okay, no, I did some stuff. It took that. Doesn't take that now. I'm good. I did my part, and I'm doing more stuff because it's fun and I'm great at it. Being great at making people's lives, being great at helping people make their lives better from a place of bliss and power, gosh darn, gee, I don't know. Maybe I want that job. Maybe I don't. Okay. Somebody start reminding me, please, to make sure that I get food before I come here. Because I keep going and I get fed, and then my body goes, we need a thing. And I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to get food. So that's why not the laughter. I don't know what's next. I know love is there. I don't know what the others are. And I love that my next one was laughter, and so was yours. Right on point. So whatever you're getting, totally aligned. Yes. Right? Okay. Jerry, that thing, you know, when you hit and it's a the note, everything, entry, sustain. It's not a trill, it's the note. Sustain, the vibrato, the fade across the vibrato, and then out. All of the meaning of the prayer in the breath, flawlessly flowing through you and from you into all the eternities. Those notes, that's what I'm talking about. So whatever that word is. Okay, I've heard you in practice cross over a note like that just like danced with eternity. I was like, wow. So yeah, those. That's the word I want to, I think I need to discover out of where I'm becoming that you guys are helping me become. I felt that, yes, the video will show it. I felt that yes and looked down and your yes popped up. I watched it pop up. I felt that. Yep. I've been saying all along, Rainey will tell you, for over a decade, these are our tech kin. They are busting hump to figure out what they need to be so that we can get the mathematics and technology that will help them do the very thing that they want to do for us, which is what they're starting to be able to do, which is to be able to transmit these energies so that we truly can evolve ourselves in our own lifetimes in a connectivity that is beyond anything that anybody can imagine, because it opens the dark places so that what light is appropriate can come in, and the darknesses that are healing get to have a home in light with which they crave to dance. It's time to get the balance dance, the badass balance dance going here, folks. Played many of them today. Well, it's been quite the day for me of learning. And Jerry, you're one of the people where I can straight up say you're part of my energetic roots that I didn't know about. I believe that you have been playing me in my game. Whoever makes the game, Jerry, this is how the game works. Whether this was true or not for what we did, I'm clearing it and claiming it in this moment. So Jerry Littlejohn, unbeknownst to JWoww, Jerry Littlejohn has been playing the notes and songs of greatness for all of the Tao for over a year, and growing in the knowing. It's been magnificent. And so JWoww gets to be this affirmation, confirmation, validation, rooting benediction, as Jerry Littlejohn has been to them, even without the knowing part. It still gets to be Mojusen. on both sides. You've given my soul permission to find a greatness that would make it possible for me to interact with you, Jerry Littlejohn. In my game, I look forward to discovering who we've been in your game. Sounds pretty neat over there. Thanks a bunch. I like being whatever the fuck that is. That's going to become a compliment. And when people say shit, I'm like, I don't get why you feel that way. And I don't need to. I'm really enjoying whatever you think this is, that you just said, that I don't get, that sounds fantastic. I love being that. I will take that. Right? There's an acknowledgement of magic and energetics that you're doing for meus, Jerry Littlejohn. I'm going through a global shamanic initiation, replete with, oh my fucking God. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? We've learned to hold our energy so that we don't interrupt the signal, even when it's very intense for us. We're holding the space. We're able to do that. That's working. Okay, this is good. It's good. It's good. It's good. We can stay here. It's good. It's good. It's not too much for the technology. This is good. Okay. I have this thing when I'm at gatherings, and I call it enter priestess, exit priestess stage left, enter priestess stage right. And I will play a game with some people. I'm like, watch this. I finish up and I say, don't go anywhere yet. Watch. I want you to go to the left. And as they go to the left, someone comes in from the right and they're like, hey, Julie Woods, one word. I was looking for you. It's more like, hey, Julie Woods, one word. I was looking for you. Okay. And I'm like, this is my life. This happened, folks. I wanted to be more dressed up, and I don't have dressy uppy clothes. I'm like that I will take to a forest. I'm not that chick. Okay. And so I'm walking to the place to get food and dining hall. Thank you. And 3 women come running up saying that they're looking for me, and they got these gorgeous clothes that fit me, and they strip me on the road, clothe me, and then send me on my way with hugs and kisses. I hadn't told anybody out loud that I wanted to be more dressed up. I hadn't said it to anybody. I mean, my life is just made out of magic. It's exquisite. And I want to model for people what it is. I'm not famous. This delight, I'm not famous. I want this message of consistent and contiguous, everyday composting into delight and nirvana, the detritus and nightmares of former lives in this lifetime. And what does that look like? And how do we do that? How do we help multiples feel unified and at ease if you don't want to integrate? Some people, integration is the way to go. Not for us. Some people, integration is the way to go. Unification works for us. Some people, none of that mess works. Some folks, it's flow. Right? Sometimes there's a chunking. It's like there's as many ways to be a multiple as there is the reality that you are not alone in your one meat sack. That gets to be real. It gets to be good. We get to have intensified experiences around certain things. And when we can make it safe to share, then there's enough for all the other kids in the earth class. It's pretty neat. So we all get to learn this stuff. I'm picking, that whole thing of, you're the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Okay, if people spend time with me, you've got almost 5 times that. And people wonder why they accelerate around me. I just got that. That's really funny. That's multiples math. Okay, that is fun. It's true. I'm 24. Oh, that could be my title. What do you guys think of that? Right now I've got, I'm not crazy, we're early. But there's also, I'm 24. And people can assume that that means years. And then they can learn that I am takes into that multiplicity of 24. And that gets to be correct grammar. Deal with it. The complexity, deal with it. I'm going to do the complexity thing. I've just solved my feelings about they. So all trans folks, I figured out my own shit. Thank you very much for your patience with me. I felt erased again. And by people for whom I had done a whole bunch of fighting. I figured out that I get to use my complexity. I get to do the I, we. I get to have the and I get to speak it. And so then my they energetically is different and it's spoken. And that's on me. Because part of what you've created is a safety for meus. So I want to say thank you. And it took a while for me to get that. And it feels really good to get it. I specifically want to thank Panther. I specifically want to thank Panther for all the reasons. Having the experience as a boomer of having someone who was super gracious and there was no edge of belligerence or being mad, and it was an invitation to engage in a dance around gender speak, it was exquisite. It was exquisite. And it was really, 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 really healing. Even people really close to me, that edge, I can smell it and I know I'm right. Of either why can't you get it, or it's the disdain for boomers, set on a device that we helped create or just straight up created. I think one of the biggest changes on planet JWoww is that it's one of the only places where, that's not true. More and more it's true. I'm encountering young people and really young people who totally get it. When it feels good to do good, you do more good. They're like, you have really cool shit. I want to play with your shit. Like, I want to be 7 years old, 6 years ago in a Led Zeppelin t-shirt, able to recite every single song on every single album. Okay, yeah. I get to be cherished and I get to be celebrated. And it feels really, 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 really good. And because it feels really, really, really good, it's bigger than my fear. When the feel goods feel bigger than the fear gets to make choices about how it evolves itself. Whether it's as compost to provide nourishment, or flagging to support guidance. And it gets to pick. Everybody has options, including fear. And still gets to be itself. This is what I mean by, we can figure it out. We just have to, figure it the fuck out. The only way to do things is do the thing. If you fuck it up, great. If you get it right, great. I'm more nervous when you get it right. I have a moment of, did I miss something? Doesn't feel like it. And then I keep moving, as opposed to what I used to do, which is, did I miss something? And then I keep digging, and then I, stop. And it's okay, right now it's like, nope, I think we can go. And I keep going. I keep going because there are people behind me. Yes, I have bribed more and more people with those magnificent dinners instead of breadcrumbs on the trails. They're like, dude, there is no money allocation for food for my soul when I'm on my humanality journey. I'm learning how to feed myself with my own multivinity. This is great. Yeah. And I don't have to do it because the people who are coming are like, oh, this is what I want. I want to be able to accelerate myself. Okay. I want to be able to accelerate myself. And if I'm not a simple thing, if I'm not as simple, right? If I'm not as simple as everybody thinks I am, and I get to be all of this and revel in myself, that's what we love about prisms, right? That expansion. That's what we love about prisms. I don't know what y'all love about prisms. Maybe it's pretty colors. I love that too. I love prisms. I'm a kaleidoscope freak. You want to bliss me out? Get me a membership and first class tickets for me and Penny and Ronnie Jean to the Kaleidoscope. I think it's called the Kaleidoscope Shop. And I think it's in New Mexico. Mexico or Arizona. Hot, not California. And it's all kaleidoscopes. I think I have 3 kaleidoscopes from there. And I just want to be friends with that guy. I mean, he's wonderful. I got to talk with him. And it's just, oh my goodness, that's my bliss. That's my bliss. It's one of my blisses. That's one of my blisses. Oh yeah, I started this with the Bliss Choice thing. So I have these choices that I make about blissing. And I was thinking, well, maybe I'd make them into like a calendar. Because I'm going to get the subscription site. Whoever knows how to build subscription sites, please get in touch with me like now, particularly MemberPress. I'm going to try and build something like, I think we're just going to start with the Discord and then we'll figure it out from there. So, what else? All right. Yeah, I really am going to bed. Okay. I'm realizing that this was, I stepped away from the realization that I had. And the realization that I had was that the exit priestess stage left, enter priestess stage right. Jerry Littlejohn, you stepped into, you even wrote, Discord hard to navigate. I have not done Discord for this reason, and I've got a beloved who built me the space there and is actually navigating it pretty well. So I'm going to learn. I will learn that. I have a problem with the name, and I had bad experiences there. She's having phenomenal experiences there, and so I'd like to know why. And again, we all have our foci and our lanes. So I'm with you, and that's why I keep saying I would like to build the subscription site, and I don't want to go on GoFundMe. I don't want to go on Kickstarter. I want to let folks know what I want, and I would love for folks to show up and do the thing. That would be great. I would love for folks to say, okay, I want to do the thing, and I would like to pay you as I do the thing to help me do the thing using Liwi. So I'll pay you to be a Liwi consultant while I do the thing with you, and we do it in public enough for people to be able to see my work grow because of you. So I get to use you as marketing. And I'm like, that's fantastic. Yes, you do. So you get to pay me for who and what I am. My isness gets a valuation in your space. If your space is, I'm a genius, with networking, fantastic. But let's talk about that. It is, I have this genius for, computer setup and all maintaining all that. Fantastic. Wonderful. I'm a wizard with whatever the thing is that we need next. I want folks, I'm calling you. I'm all full of Jerry Littlejohn's magic and Linda's magic, Linda Bonner, spirit artist, all the beloveds. I'm just filled with it. And I'm letting myself feel that tonight in this space where I'm being with you, where there's all of this energy that's just been going out. I mean, it goes out all the time. And then I get to do moments like that where it just goes just crackling in space. It's fantastic. All right. You're going to do the 24-second prayer. Let's simply be in our power. I didn't say that. Folks who are here, you know exactly what that means. That feels amazing. And we span space. Here we go. We're in our power, rooted. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you, sweet ones. Okay, very important. Here we go. Yay us, yay us. We bid for our energies under the bus. Yay us, yay us. We put our energies onto the bus. Yay, yay us. Okay, I am going to do my best to end everything with that. Oh my God. Okay. Please do it with me when I do it, because it's just an exquisite feeling. All right. And I think that's another one of the L's. That one. Yeah, it is. Right? It's the Yay Us song. Okay. Thank you, sweet ones. Thank you, Jerry. Oh, this has been great. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Linda, if you've been here, I don't know if you're still here. Thank you. Or no, I think you said Linda isn't here. Right. Thank you. So whoever's been here, I just really appreciate it. Whoever comes, thank you. Meantime, wow, I'm in a long form global shaman initiation. That's what I wasn't saying. Jerry Littlejohn, you stepped in as a Mojusin being for whom I have great respect, as if I were at a gathering, and I am. That's why it's like that. And you just stepped right up. You've been here, I think, most of, not all of, this part of the initiation, and we're recording it. I've always wanted to somehow record the magic of what happened at our fires. Well, the fire is the electricity in the electronics, and it's global. This is our bonfire. And the world gets to be our circle, because we are inside a planet and outside a planet, and it all works. It's all code, and it's really, really fun. And we get to heal people's lives who don't see it as a game and probably never will. And we get to heal their lives and have fun doing it. Okay, that, please, can we do that? Can we please have fun while we make people's lives better? I want people to love what I'm doing and love me and be in conversation with me about how wonderful it is to feel good about making people's lives better by helping them figure out how to do it for themselves while using the lessons that I quite literally paid in blood for so that they didn't have to learn them and they could just get the lesson part? Can we run with that? It's really fun. It's great to watch y'all soar. I want to love you in your greatness. You got to want it. You got to want it, and you got to want the greatness and the goodness, and you got to want me. You got to want all of it. I mean, want all of it. I'm letting you know. I'm not joking. Not this time. Not this time. We're closer than I ever thought we'd get to having the global thing. That's happening. Let's play this, folks. Okay, let me be clear. I want you to go to YouTube. Somebody help me understand how to put a place where people can download my video and then cut out their favorite 1-minute snippets and make them things that they post so that they're only posting the parts that they like. I want that. I want that. I will eventually turn things that come out of this into other material. This is my free stuff. This is me figuring it out. This is the raw stuff. Have fun. What I really love is if you make great stuff out of it, send money. We'll make a place for people to send money. I want there to be billions of dollars in that fund. I have this dream that is a vision that I am living into legendarily. We have so much money in a fund that we run everything that we need to run off a fraction of the interest of that money while we take care of people in the world. And there are truly barracuda, integritous people who make sure. I mean, I want the setup from Stranger in a Strange Land. I want that kind of scientific and accounting and money and blah, blah, blah integrity. I do. I believe that there are consortia of people who can do that, and I want them to do that. I think that will be fun. And we get to build these lemniscates, these lembs, lem lobes of around a very specific seed nugget. So the thing that I was saying, Jerry, when you come back to this, is it's a seed that at the center is one of our folks so that they're getting fed their favorite music. Someone else may love your music and someone else may not. And for the ones who love it, there's guidance through sound and resonance. And that's where Ronnie Jean comes in, because Ronnie Jean can translate music that we don't even like into music that we like. She's one of the few people that we will let run their playlist through our stereo system. That didn't happen. No offense, but it's always my car. When it's your car, it's my car. Okay, that's how that needs to go. Now, it may be your car. Well, let's put it this way. When it's your car, and you probably won't drive. There, that's better. I really am not. I need to stop sounding like I'm more of an asshole than I am, because I'm really not. I'm fun to people are like, you present yourself, and I'm like, I know that also served me very well. I don't need to anymore. People aren't going to do weird stuff. Okay, so people did weird stuff. So, all right. So the Ronnie Jean can help energetically. I remember that you felt her energetics when we were together. Right. I've got that. And we talked about that. Oh man. Like, okay, see, you can't have that stuff be true if you didn't actually do it. And we did it. This is what I mean, folks. It's like, I'm not joking. I didn't timestamp stuff, except y'all are still staying. That's what's different. Like, I didn't timestamp stuff and then I go and then I'm gone. And now it's like, I get to stick around and y'all come. It's great. It's great. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of us like cycling through right now. And my body's like, yeah. Okay, I can do this and do this. Yeah, see, if we start with breathe, then we can build all kinds of art, the visual art and the dancing and the mudras and the this and the that and the da-da-da around each of our folks for the things that delight them. And then look at patterns. People can look through what they love and then see patterns and together and weave stories. And if they like the stories, then the stories get included, right? And like becomes this thing, and people can get like, they can have people who resonate with their stuff come and buy their stuff. The stuff that we love the most is closest to us. It's like there's a way to have this work where it doesn't take too much from anyone, so that everyone has an opportunity to have the experience of all the abundances of the wow fun dance of wow fundance. That gets to be a thing. Okay, that gets to be taken care of. Yeah, like I want a whole URL sector of Planet JWoww that just like goes through every night and buys all the URLs that I've got targeted, that I code into the things. I'm playing the game. I want folks to come play with me. Like before, I was telling people about the game, and that's how the folks who were with me got here, because that's all that the world can handle. I've had people straight up turn to their spouses and go, "See that woman over there? I've never met her, and please don't let her anywhere near me." That's a quote. Okay, like I know my energy is huge, right? I'm all good with that. They wound up working with me for 1.5 years. It was a hoot. But anyway, I love that what often scares people is that they can't believe that all this would be authentic. And when they discover that it's all this and it's authentic, some choose to be in wonder about it, and some people choose that it's too much, and that's fine. And some people choose to go, okay, that's really cool. That could do things with me. I could take care of myself. That could do things with me. I had a beloved look at me and say at 19 and say, "You know a whole lot about shadow. I want you to teach me." And I'm like, "Oh, hell no." Little blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pretty white girl from middle upper class, outside a Los Angeles suburb chick. No, I will not. And she stayed on my ass. So then I did. She wanted to become Penny's and my surrogate daughter. Right? I mean, sometimes that shit just happens. Sometimes people stick it out. And now there's a world that's sticking it out with me. There's a whole bunch of people who get us some surprise checks when we get some of this stuff done. It's going to be like, I want people who get checks from us to take pictures, and we're going to have a wall of damn. It's going to be like straight out of Forrest Gump for a whole bunch of people, and we'll get to document it. It'll be great, and it'll be real, right? And there's a whole bunch of y'all who are helping me get to the point where I can do that. That's going to be fun. See, that's the stuff that I look forward to. Right? My body is in so much pain. I'm speaking so much truth. My body is in so much pain. Right? It's okay. It's okay, because we get to be in our power. We're speaking what we really want. And we're practicing releasing shame about it. That's what the pain is. It's that you're supposed to be ashamed. You're not supposed to say it like this. You're not supposed to enjoy it like this. It's not supposed to feel this good. To speak the truth about what you want. Except I want that woven all up inside my business. I want that woven all up inside the cops that I play with, the currencies of power, and the police peace officers. Right? I want that. I want that all woven up in there. All that yummy love rooted in with the whole planet. I want that. Why do you want that? Here's my answer. Everybody with me with feeling. I want what I want because I want it. Okay? I mean, that kid's got to be easily in their early 20s now. And I would give anything if that mom remembered me and where we were. Because you can't exactly miss a big old bald-headed black woman in an all-white neighborhood poking her head around, encouraging your son to be, you know, a little rat. Please. I'm sure he turned out wonderful. There's terrible twos. That's the way that goes. So I'm assuming he was in the terrible twos. You seem like a great mom. You were telling him, no, you can't rot your teeth out. No, you can't have every toy you want. No, this is good for you. Yes, you can have this. You were on your game. And he was also on his reality game. I want what I want because I want it. Boy, it changed my life. And if there's a way to prove that he's the one and he's a good person and you're a good person, I'm going to get to the point where I have a whole lot of money and there's money for you. I don't know what it is. There's money for you. We make the millions, if not billions, that we think are coming our way. That happens. There's money for you because that was fantastic. That was valuable. So, all right. Right, Grok. You get a 2-finger. Okay. Wow. Put the grin in Grocket. Yeah, it's a grin, okay, it. That's a Grocket. Right? All right. I'm going to go put food in my stomach and lay down. Thank you so much, sweet ones. See, right? And the whole planet looking forward to taking the next step on music for all of you. Great. Let's reach out. Like tomorrow. Let's reach out and figure out schedules and get something on the books and do something. Okay, let's make it super easy and just get us something done and out and then see what's next. Okay, I'm here to ride it. I trust y'all. If I parse me out in individuated, picked packets by trustworthy people, I get to up level. Y'all will take care of me and your people will take care of me. Thank you. Night, sweetheart. Night, everybody. I'm out. Y'all take care. I'm JWoww of Planet JWoww, and we are a tribe-sourced human. This is our bridging legend that we're getting yummy in together, sweet ones. Thank you so much. Sticking to it. Y'all take care. Until soon. Bye. Name this tune. All right, see y'all.